Hi. I imagine that a lot of the people who watch this video already know who I am, but I'll reintroduce myself or initially introduce myself to those of you who might not know me. My name is Brandon Haskey, and I am currently a graduate student at DePaul University in Chicago, Illinois. But before this, for the 7 years before this, I was a high school English teacher at Central High School in St. Joseph, Missouri. A school that, as of next Friday, well, on next Friday, that's October 11th, is going to be protested by the Westboro Baptist Church. And we could go on debating the semantics of whether or not they are a hate group or a church, or whether they have the right to do what they're doing, or whether or not, they have legal standing to preach hate. At what point do the free speech rights of others infringe upon the rights of another group of people? We could have that debate. But that debate is not going to be solved by next Friday. So I am here mainly to offer some advice to the student body of Central High School, a school that I love, a school that I gave my heart to for 7 years, and a school whose students, many of whom I still know quite well, and a place that I think of fondly and I love very dearly, especially the English department. And I just thought that it might be helpful for me to offer some allegedly sage wisdom about how to handle this situation. I did a little bit of research, and Westboro Church has protested at a public school before, but it's not their primary go-to protest. And the press release that they had about it didn't really specify why they were coming to Central. It just said that all schools have the problems that they listed in the press release, that the people dress like whores, and the teachers teach, I don't know, what was something about sodomizing yourself till you're blue in the face. That wasn't an exact quote, but I was like, boy, I don't remember those classes as a graduate of Central High School as well. And I certainly never taught that. And it said how the school nurse would have gave out condoms or something like that. And I don't know, maybe she did that privately, but I knew her pretty well. I actually taught directly across the hallway from her, and I never saw a single condom in her office in 7 years. Who knows? But none of that matters, ultimately, because they're going to be there. And so I have a couple of ideas, a couple of tips to help you handle these Westboro protesters. So among the things that I know about Central High School is that it is a place where diversity is present. The shirt that I'm currently wearing was the shirt from the Senior Service Day in 2009, and it's a great shirt. But one of the things that I always most appreciated about teaching at Central was the fact that there was sort of a place for everybody, that because the student population was so diverse that everyone could kind of find a place. I'm going to ask Central that you take your diversity and use it to be better, to rise above, and to counteract this hatred that is coming from these protesters, and instead live lives of love, and to demonstrate the positivity and love that I know Central High School has. The first concrete thing that I will suggest you do is to completely ignore them. That's going to be tough. Believe me, I know that's going to be tough. My personal beliefs, my personal life, they are very seriously attacking. But know this, you yelling back at them, they are going to yell at you. But you yelling back at them is not going to change their mind. Accept it. Accept it right now. You yelling back at them and telling them that what they're preaching is hateful and not biblically based is not going to make those Shirley Phelps, I don't even know if she's going to be one of the protesters, but is not going to be like, oh my goodness, thank you, 15-year-old high school student. As much as we want to believe that she, that we have the power to do that, it's not going to happen. So in fact, here's what I would like for you to do. I don't know if we're going to know where they're protesting before they start. But I imagine that by the end of the school day that day, it'll come around. Classes will be able to see it outside of their windows or something. Figure out where it is, and I know that this is going to be a pain, but don't exit from that part of the building. If you didn't know, they are going to be protesting from 2:25 to 3. School gets out at 2:43. So they're doing this on purpose. They know what time school gets out. They want you to have to walk by them. They want your parents to have to walk by them. They want your families to have to hear them and listen to them and see them. Tell your parents, if you get picked up, to pick you up on the other side of the building from where they are. If they are on the sides of the building where the buses are, I'm serious. Put up a backpack, put up a notebook, put up something where you don't even look at them. You don't even acknowledge them. You don't give them the satisfaction. Because all they ultimately want from you is for you to get angry. We can talk about whether or not they believe what they're actually saying or not, but they certainly love your attention. Don't let them have it. So the first thing I would like for you to do is completely ignore them. The second thing I'm going to suggest, and I know several of the members of the Central High School student government who I taught before and are fantastic people, and I know, again, a large portion of the student body who I know is full of wonderful people. I'm going to suggest that you organize something after school next Friday. Probably someplace, in fact, definitely someplace separate. I don't even know if it could be affiliated with the school. I'm not going to cross that bridge because it is no longer my bridge to cross. But just like a positive, love-affirming, life-affirming event that is someplace where you don't interact with them, but demonstrates the love and acceptance that exists at Central High, and that demonstrates the positivity in response to their negativity. That I think it would be great if you had donations that went to some sort of special, wonderful cause that was sort of the antithesis of what they do. And I don't know, you guys are creative. I certainly know that about you. Use this as an opportunity to show how great you are. I've heard that the annual Central Blood Drive is the same day. I would love to see a record number of blood donations. I would also love to see an additional event. Whether or not that actually happens or not, I don't think is a terribly big deal. I'm just offering a suggestion. But the thing that I think you really have to consider as the students of Central High School is ignoring them. What other people in the city do, we can't control, and I certainly understand and respect a counter-protest. When I was, I think I was 21 or 22, my best friend from 4th and 5th grade was a soldier in Afghanistan and died there, and it was tragic and sad. I hadn't spoken to him in years, but for a couple of years we were very close, and so I went to his funeral, and Westboro protested at it. And I drove right by them. I drove right by them in my car, and they yelled at me and they screamed at me, and I just tried to look straight ahead. I'm serious with you guys. It was really jarring. I can't explain how bizarre it is to have those kinds of things hurled at you and yelled at you. I do know that one of their new picket signs says, "You will eat your children." I hope they have that one because I think it's funny. But ideally, you'll never know unless you see it on the news or something, because you won't look at it in person. You won't see it. You won't give them the time of day. Fingers crossed. Okay? So those are my two suggestions, the biggest one being to ignore them. I love you from Chicago Central, and I repped this shirt proudly through the city today. Central High School is a place that I'm proud to have graduated from, and I'm very proud to have taught at for 7 years, and I hope that you guys handle this, and I know you will handle this, with grace and excellence. I love you, Central. Good luck.